guys. Hello, Merry to everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene, and this is my second take on my bcast for the reasons that I explained in the first bcast, which is still making some adjustments on the settings on this computer. And right now, everything looks good. The sound should now be going to the mixing board, and it does show that in the VU meters. But apparently I thought the sound was going to the mixing board in the last one, and it wasn't. So, actually, may have been going to the mixing board, but that was kind of a lousy last stream anyway. Yeah, absolutely. So, we'll try again. So basically yesterday, I'm going to explain kind of what happened, because I think this is really, these videos in some ways sometimes become more of a chronological history book. I got up, well, I was so excited. It was Thursday night. I really couldn't get much sleep. I think I fell asleep about 4 o'clock on Friday morning. And I woke up about Friday at 10 o'clock. I knew I wasn't going to be going to the soup kitchen because the package was already out for delivery. So I stayed here taking micro naps between checking for the FedEx guy, and he finally came at 2 o'clock, and the box is so big that the guy says, I don't know how I'm going to get up the stairs. At first he was going to put it on his hand truck. The box is so big it couldn't even really fit comfortably in a hand truck, and I was concerned that if that thing gets banged enough that the computer could seriously stop working. So I went ahead and I said, oh, I'll tell you what, why don't I help you carry this? It's heavy, but I can help you carry it as much as I can. So here's this asthmatic picking up this computer. He grabbed one end, I grabbed the other end, and we managed to get the box into my apartment. And then I started the live stream about 2 o'clock, 2:03, where I started covering the computer, the unboxing, the setup, the struggles I was having getting everything configured. And that was very much unscripted, because there was nothing me and Louie were basically just trying to figure out how everything was going to go together, and so that's what we did. So we got this video in, and it was really cool. When I first turned the computer on and let the monitor on it, the mouse wasn't working, because I don't know if the hub had a bad USB port or whatever, because it's a cheap Chinese piece of shit, trust me. So I wasn't going to sit there and fuss around with broken ports, so I decided to just plug straight into the computer to get the mouse and keyboard working. I was thinking maybe I might have to put the mouse behind the computer, or the hub behind the computer, because I couldn't find the longer cord. But that wouldn't work because of one reason, and that is makes it really easy for the ports to get unplugged between me and the cats and everything else. So since I wasn't using the USB output of my Behringer mixer anyway, I decided to use the USB cable that came with the Behringer mixer to plug it into the hub, which works just fine. So that way we can get the sound. Now, some of you might be saying is, why aren't you using the USB output of your Behringer mixer for the sound? And the reason is, because I don't know why I just never really migrated to the USB port on the mixer. I know that on the Snow Leopard iMac, I noticed that the USB output mixer is lower gain on the USB side than it is on the other side. and I can adjust it in the gain control. But I didn't really think about doing that. But, you know, right now I want to just keep everything pretty much working the same way so I can just get things going. And in that case, everything right now is working the same as I would on the iMac, with the exception that the monitor is different and the computer is different. So obviously things are a little different electrically. If I had gotten a 2011 iMac, I could have basically just dropped it right in place where the current Mac was sitting and just basically plugged in all the cords, and the only one I would have to figure out how to deal with it would be the US, would be the FireWire 800 to 400 cable. I had two of them, so I was able to set to go there. The only thing with the computer that seems to be not working is the DVD drive. I mean, it recognizes it and everything, but for some reason it just can't open the drive. I wonder if maybe when me and the FedEx guy were trying to get it up the stairs, and maybe we banged something on it without meaning to. Maybe we kind of get the mechanism got stuck. It doesn't sound like it's struggling to open the drawer. It doesn't sound like it's even trying to open the drawer. So I'm wondering is if, since I don't have any other computer with a SATA interface, I can't plug it into another computer and test it. But that might be a possibility. Then maybe the company who sold it to me didn't actually test the DVD drive. And that's another theoretical possibility, that maybe they didn't use the DVD drive to load the operating system. So that may be the case. Once I have an external DVD drive. I have an external FireWire 400 if I need to use it. But I don't know if I need to use it right now. So anyway, after the live stream yesterday, I worked on the computer until about 7 and 8 o'clock. My hips were really hurting really bad. I'm being crunched up in that chair, trying to find the sweet spot for the monitor. Cam twist was giving me all kind of belly aches, especially the older Cam twist was saying things like, I couldn't figure out what to do with my cameras, I couldn't figure out what to do with the different setups. And I just said, well, okay, so it was working kind of crappy. I tried to install the newest one. But then the newest one wasn't compatible with the older one, because it uses a 64-bit API instead of the 32-bit, which FMLE needs. FMLE from Adobe, there is no updates. I have the newest one. So, unless I want to go ahead and pay up money and buy something like Wirecast or something like that, I'm going to need to either A, accept my limitations of the software, or B, switch to Open Broadcaster Studio, which I might do anyway, because it would be more polished interface than the Cam Twist interface, which is kind of clunky, honestly. But, I've dealt with the clunk long enough that I kind of know of how it works, but seriously, it's kind of limiting. So I have to definitely work on this issue about the setup of this machine. But for the time being, you think that all the video that we released was really having sound problem, or you think it was just the output of the QuickTime? I think the output of QuickTime was a problem. Oh, okay. So in other words, okay, now we got to set it right. I hope. This is some of the things you got to do when you get a new computer, is try to figure out what's going on. And I don't want my users to say, your show is boring. After all, you like spontaneity. You told me yourself. You say you like surprises. You like seeing into people's lives. which you did certainly get a chance to do that. And you got a chance to get to understand what I do a bit better. So everything I'm doing right now with this computer is a completely new experience because there's new software like this QuickTime Player versus what I was used to on Snow Leopard and with QuickTime 7. So everything is new. Everything that's new means new ways to fuck it up, unfortunately. But I think I'll master this, so just give me some time to figure out all the missing pieces. But the most important thing is I want you to know is that I really I'm going to work on trying to make this computer more than just a video editing production program computer. Since it's got the resources, it's got the horsepower, why don't I use it to do video work? Good question. Let me just quickly explain to people what's got in it for features that the iMac doesn't have. Even the new iMacs, okay, it's a very different environment. Okay, number one, it has four SATA 3.5-inch drive bays, 2 SATA 5.25-inch optical device bays. It has a super drive in bay 1, but seems to be not opening the damn drive. When I actually tell it to eject the disk, it's not opening the door. It's not even sliding out the tray. That could be because maybe when me and the FedEx guy tried to get up the stairs, maybe the drive something got messed up. Maybe, who knows, maybe there's a little gear or something that jumped off the track. I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't have any other set of devices I could try in the computer or try the drive in another computer. Let's see. Next, it's got both Toslink optical in and Toslink optical out. It has, of course, standard analog audio in and standard audio out. It has 2 gigabit Ethernet ports, 10, 100, and 1000 megabits per second, or gigabit. Okay? It does not have Bluetooth. That's a module I didn't have with this computer. It does not have it does not have Wi-Fi. Another module this computer does not have. I would like to add Wi-Fi to this, and I do know I can buy the card for it. The only thing is how do you install the card? Is it like on my iMac or my PowerMac G5, where there's a base specifically designed for it? I would suspect so. This has 3 empty PCIe slots. They're full-length slots, okay? So they're actually all look like PCIe 16s, but only one of the empty ones has got all 16 lanes free. The other ones are only PCIe 4-lane slots. Great for most everyday accessories. It's got 4 FireWire 800 ports and 5 USB 2.0 ports on the machine. The video card that comes with the machine is an NVIDIA GT120, which is an entry-level card, but it's better than no card, obviously. And it's a beast of a machine. So it's also, you almost can upgrade it completely without tools. As you saw me slide the cover up yesterday, you'll see that it has the processor tray on the bottom. The processor tray is important because if you want to upgrade without having to do any kind of hardcore upgrades like removing chips and deleting chips and things like that, this is you can buy a whole new drive or processor tray and slides right in, and then you can go ahead and go up to even the 3.44 gigahertz speed if that's what you really need. I don't think for my use I need 3.44, but at least I have that option. it has hyperthreading. So, so if you run the CPU monitor, you'll see a total of 8 cores come up on the CPU monitor. During the live streams, the cores are not even saturated at all. There's actually extra room to spare, which is very important because that means that I don't have to worry about making the computer hard drives or processors overwork and not be able to keep up with the demands of what I'm throwing at it. I think this is a very good machine. I paid $309 for it. The monitor is a separate monitor, is a Dell monitor. It was a refurbished. I paid $105 for it. That monitor is, as I showed you, is a little bit bigger than its little brother, which is a 19-inch. This is a 22-inch. It's 1920 by 6 or 1080 resolution, whereas the other one is only 1360 by 10 or 768. So it's definitely is a very nice setup. It's the monitor I have supports both analog, VGA, and DisplayPort. It comes with a DisplayPort. The cord is full-size DisplayPort, not HDMI. And it's pretty cool that way if that's what you want. Although I might get a mini DisplayPort to full-size DisplayPort cable in the near future. But I was just happy with the results of getting the video I was getting out of it. Come here, Mr. Asshole. Yeah. Now you can bother me a little bit. Okay? Because I'm not sitting at the control board, so I don't have to worry about you pushing my buttons. The live streams are going to be getting more sort of settling down after the election midterms. We're going to be carrying the election audio on Discord from Infowars.com, and you will be able to listen to him on our Discord channel. The reason we're not going to be playing the Alex Jones show through YouTube is due to the YouTube policies lately regarding how they treat Alex Jones, people who share his content. They actually will ban you outright. They will totally throw your channel in the garbage. They won't even bother giving you much of a second chance. So I don't want to get upset. And once I do something like that, all of a sudden I could be blocked from doing live streams for 60 days, 90 days, 100 days, indefinitely. Even if you're not doing it on live streams. So I want to try to keep my good standing with... Now, obviously, one of the things I want to get rid of, I'm thinking about changing, is get rid of the damn phone. Because, you know why? I'll be honest, guys, even though you think it's fun, the phones... the one guy that kept calling and talking about some kind of science fiction show, I don't really know what the story was he was reading me, but, hey, that's fine if you want to have a story time. Well, tell a story time. We can do story time. We can do story time. Yes, we can. Well, for now, I'm going to get ready to relax and take the rest of the day off. Remember, tomorrow's live stream at 7 p.m. We're going to do it the same way we're doing it today. Except I'm doing it from the couch. Okay, so which means I'm not going to be able to actually mechanically run the phones. So which means that we're going to have to just deal with the Discord for now, because I want to do it from the couch because it's more of a comfortable place to be. It's like a safe place, it's like a safe space kind of thing. You millennials aren't the only one that enjoys safe spaces. Trust me. You know, even as moderates like safe spaces. I need my safe space too. That room, is like it's really, really kind of awkward working all this stuff like we're doing, but I really had a good time with the show today. Even though it was kind of a little bit kind of stupid in the end, I think it was a pretty good show. I was, like I said, I was showing you the computer setup. It wasn't really so much like we had a major topic to cover. I mean, I'd love to cover more topics, and I will be focusing on those. Okay? But for right now, it was just a good chance to show you how the computer now reacts and doing even some more advanced stuff, but even doing the routine stuff too. So for the time being, I'll talk to you later. Stay out of trouble, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody.